Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday, the 9th of June. Okay, we've ended up with a hung parliament in the UK, so no clear majority by the Conservative Party. They've lost their majority, and it now looks like they will be looking to form a coalition. Most likely, it may have been suggested with the Democratic Unionist Party, which has the majority of the ten votes that may be needed to get it over the threshold of an outright majority. But either way, it's not going to be an easy morning for Theresa May. That's for sure. Now let's have a look at the pound, and well, the pound sold off very strongly yesterday on the exit poll itself. From that, we saw some bounces as we saw some of the figures being swung, the share of the Lib Dems and the UKIP votes being shared at one stage between the two leading parties. But we've seen a sell-off of that since, and well, we've down at the moment to the weekly pivot here, the S3, and a bit of support on the 500. Now, where next? Well, it's really, I mean, it's a tight one in terms of technicals. It suggests from a weekly point of view into that S3. Well, perhaps it may bounce a little bit here. If any coalition is announced early, we may see some sort of bounce come from this sort of zone where we are now. There is divergence, technical divergence here on the 60 minutes. As I say, there is the potential for upside potentially, but it's not certainly full of the joys of spring. Now, looking at this data here, there is the gap, and well, the gap, dare I say it, the gap may be filled at some point, but it's not going to be full of cheer this morning. Okay, let's have a look at the euro. Well, euro has come off and this is part US dollar strength coming through. We've seen this across a number of markets. It looks like it could still roll off towards that daily 21, or maybe even come back and approach the monthly pivot there. Still got the potential of doing so. It's still relatively early in the month. And we still on the 4-hourly here putting lower highs, lower lows in. And you see it clearer on the hourlies here. Now today we've already approached the 60-21s a couple of occasions, or three occasions actually. If we can break through or start pushing up, they may sort of give way this on the fourth time, and we could see price running up towards its daily pivot at some point on the euro. However, it looks weak. Technically, it still looks like it could run further south towards the S1, maybe more. Maybe towards that 60-minute 500 at some point, but that will start probably putting us in divergence territory, and I'll be looking potential bounces around that sort of area. But for now, erring on the weaker side. But as I said, any change of fortune this morning, we could be looking for a move back towards that daily pivot. Dollar yen. We've seen a continuation of this move up north here towards its weekly pivot on the dailies. It's come back to the underside, which it's previously, and that undersides of the 200 and the 8, and it's looking like it wants to chip through that now. Certainly breaking to, as I say, breaking and looking like it could well head back at least to that weekly pivot, and to the 4-hourly 100 that sits above there. So higher highs, higher lows confirmed through this market, and as I say, we're just breaking through those key moving averages at the moment. Already hit the daily pivot, already up into the R1. It's got a pretty clear way to probably continue at the moment, looking rather bullish, but of course we can see a change quite quickly in the early London session. Looking across at the Aussie dollar, well, the Aussie dollar's stalled into yesterday. It's still got potential with this higher low in to push up further. It's arguably in a bull flag sort of territory at this point. So break of the highs there, or the trend line, should I say, could see us pushing further, but it's still not particularly clear. And when you come down to the hourlies here, it does look much more choppier, and if you can see the lower highs, lower lows from that flag element from the bigger time frames. It does here from this time frame look like it may just want to roll, but I'd be more bullish above the 50 MA, and well, if it continues in this mode, if it breaks the lows, more bearish, but it is quite pinched now. Canadian dollar. Canadian dollars stalled a little bit. It did put in a new near-term high yesterday. Continued on that bullish engulfing sort of move, heading back towards that monthly pivot there. Very sort of iffy overall. It had broken the trend earlier in the week there. As I say, pushed back positive, back into that sort of upward trend, and at the moment hung in between. At the moment, it's no absolute clarity of where this is moving, especially when you start moving down to the 60-minute, where it's sort of obviously bobbing between the markets here. If anything, to me, it looks like there at some point could be a little bit of weakness. Let's just have a look at the price of oil here. Oh, still slipping down. So it's more of a technical move with the strength of, or weakness of the US dollar than it is a move by the oil. With oil slipping down, we should still be pushing up effectively, technically. Okay, that's pretty much it for me at the moment, and nothing else to report. So have a great day. I'll speak to you on Monday. Bye for now.